Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Nuggets News. In this week's technical analysis, we'll cover the big three as well as 10 coins you guys have voted for. So, yesterday was my 30th birthday. I did have the day off, guys. Thanks to the team at POWR for sending me a t-shirt. One of my favorite projects. I think I was one of the first people on YouTube to even mention POWR. I know a lot of you guys got in on the ICO, and we'll cover that one as well today. So, last week, Bitcoin was trading for 16,500, and a lot of people were scared or cautious of the futures, thinking that was just going to drive markets down now that the big guys at institutions have a mechanism to short Bitcoin. But I was overwhelmingly positive. So these 3 weeks here, this triple bottom at the 78.6% fib, I said we get a few days higher before the brackets bottom here on the 19th of December, and that's the little correction that we're going to get, and maybe we have one more day of correction. But we did have a slight breakdown on the shorter time frames, this head and shoulders pattern a lot of people were looking for, and we played this bounce yesterday in the members room. We actually played Litecoin for a better percentage gain, but when we see this flush out, the volume climax here, you know, the RSI dipping, all these things give me confidence to step in front and catch that falling knife to play that bounce. A lot of you guys have exited on the way up here, and we'll check that out when we get to the Litecoin chart. But that takes our trade record to 30 out of 31 for the year. It's just been phenomenal, and I know a lot of you guys are enjoying that as well. So what am I looking at from a cautious point of view? So guys, I hate to always just do these and say everything's positive, we're always looking higher. So I want to talk about what happens typically in stock markets at this time of year. So a lot of people are now away for holidays over Christmas and New Year's. So we tend to get smaller volume. So the daily candlesticks here, you know, I'm looking for lower volume, maybe a little bit of a correction tomorrow. But what the red flags for me would be, if we break down from this first fib level here, this next fib level here. So that's, I want to see strong support if we do get to these fib levels. And when we enter this new cycle bracket here that goes to the 5th of January, I don't want that to break down early, okay? That would be the first sign of weakness. If we break down early, we'd also likely be getting a bearish cross on the daily MACD as well. RSI has been slightly converging here, so a slight downward bias while we've still been going up in price here. So look, there's a few red flags that I'm being cautious of, guys, and a lot of people have been thinking Bitcoin just can't go higher. Even from 9 and 10,000, it just can't go higher, and the bullish strength in the market in the internals has continued to prove people wrong. But for the first time here, guys, I'm certainly saying be a little bit cautious. My rule of thumb is, if you've got in early, if you've made life-changing amounts of money, that's different for you. You've got to decide if you're going to continue to think long-term. I certainly think Bitcoin's going higher long-term, and a lot of you guys are hodlers. You're not worried about if we get a dip and then we continue higher, but a lot of you do like to play these dips. So look, they're the warning signs. I've just listed a few there. If we break down those other indicators, we may get a chance to step back in, and because we've run so hard, we really don't know what support people are going to consider healthy levels here. So I'm obviously watching each of these fibs. I'll be laddering my orders. I'll be watching to see how bad the chart breaks down, and if it's actually due to any fundamentals or whether it's just a bit of panic in the market. But you know, it's certainly possible in a worst case scenario that we do go all the way down here. But from what I'm seeing, I don't think that's going to happen. There's too many people that want a pullback. I talk to people every day that have put a bit of money in, and they're waiting to dump a lot more at the first sign of pullback. So guys, I'd even be thinking a round number, you know, 15,000, something like that is the worst case scenario. I just don't think, unless we get something extremely negative fundamentally to change the base case for Bitcoin long term, that we get any sort of large, meaningful, sustained correction. So a bit more in depth than normal, guys, but I just wanted to talk about that as we head into the holiday season, and we typically get those lighter volumes, so the futures can maybe bully the market and push it around more than normal. Let's see how that plays out. Ethereum, last week we were trading for $460. You guys know that this is my biggest holding, one of my favorite coins. I just can't believe how high these breakouts are getting though. I've got to admit that when I was talking about, you know, a push up from this bracket around the 13th of December, I wasn't picturing, you know, 100% move. It's breathtaking. We see it time and time in the crypto market. Unbelievable, guys. I'm not sure what to say. So we got that huge push up, a bit of a, you know, retrace here, and now we're just moving higher again. So probably a couple of days ahead before the cycle brackets bottom on the 24th. Again, the same things I just spoke about with Bitcoin. We're probably going to see lighter trade volume when people are on holidays. Even if we get a little bit of a correction, as long as it's on low volume, it's all pretty healthy. The MACD's a little far off crossing compared to Bitcoin here. So the Ethereum charts at the moment got a stronger setup than Bitcoin. Again, I think as long as these things trade sideways, lower volume, there's nothing to be too worried about. And those brackets again declining and bottoming on the 24th of December as we head into Christmas. Litecoin, last week we were trading for $160. Again, it's just breathtaking what we are witnessing, guys. So let's have a look at the 4-hour chart here that shows this a little bit better. So this was the breakout, and this was a trade that we put on as well. And I was only looking for a 10 or 20% move, maybe a test of the old highs I mentioned last week. But the fact that we're just getting these incredible runs, I think it shows you that there's a lot of money in this space that's starting to learn about the other coins. So if you've just got in Bitcoin and you've made large sums of money, you gradually you work your way down that coin market cap list, and you want to learn about Ethereum and Litecoin and then all the other altcoins. You pick ones that are your favorite, and that's why we see money gradually flowing into all these other alts that I'll cover in a second, because people are learning, just as you went through. I've spoke about this cycle where you first discover crypto and Bitcoin, and then you work your way down and find other projects that you like. So that's that breakout there. Absolutely phenomenal run, huge percentage gains. Let's just have a look at these fib retracements now. So a perfect retrace here, the 50% from that $100 mark, you know, that old high where we spent a lot of time. It's just healthy correction here, guys, as this bracket's sort of pushing down. These brackets aren't perfect to the hour, but they certainly give us a guide to the day about when we're going to have this run up and then a pullback, and now we have this next bracket pushing higher as well after we got that kiss of the 50% fib retracement. So again, it's all healthy. Litecoin's actually got a few more days to run before we start to worry about that bracket finishing, which is the 28th of December. So again, close to the end of the year. Let's watch for those things I've spoken about. Light trading volume. Let's just watch the MACD and RSI, but I'm certainly not bearish at all on Litecoin at this stage. It's going to be interesting to see how the Bitcoin, Ethereum and Litecoin correlate if Bitcoin chart is slightly weaker, and there's definitely all coins starting to act more independently rather than highly correlated Bitcoin, which is something that I've been waiting for and watching for a long time. Now last week, Neo, another coin that I love and that I've said to you guys a number of times, I can't believe how we're just seeing these sustained periods of sideways action. Something's going to break and it's going to be to the upside was my message, and we're trading at only around $35. Again, I was looking for maybe a test of that old high at best, and these markets continue to surprise me. So well done, guys. A lot of you got in this one very early days. I think it was $7 when I made my fundamental analysis video. So another coin, I think that's the 8th coin this year that we've had 1,000% gains on. So guys, I know you're enjoying it. Never get greedy. Always take a little bit of profit off the table if you've made a life-changing amount of money. But for the long term, I certainly think that this is a fantastic coin. Only a matter of time now until we hit $100, and who knows, Ethereum has shown you what's possible for these platform-style coins. If Neo gets that sort of that market happening in China, the sky is really the limit, guys. Amiseago, another one of my favorites. How many times have you guys heard me say that this is an absolute gift the longer we trade under $10? You know that I backed the truck up here at $6. Only trading at $8 last week, and And here we go again, surprising to the upside. I again expecting a test of the old highs was maybe one of my best case scenarios, but here we go again. Big volume. Here's your first sign here that good things are coming. The largest candlestick day we've had in months. Breakout there, and then just bang. And on go, I think market cap wise, fundamental wise, again, we're going to have a pullback, a bit of a reset, maybe a test of these old highs. Let's have a look at the fibs here, just from this breakout from the base here. I certainly think that this is one that I'm happy to hold long term. You know, anytime it hovers around these high fib levels, guys, and we don't have a huge sell-off of bare volume, everything's positive. We need that, you know, that turnover of money, the day traders to take profits, the holders to hold. It's all healthy cycle. This is one of my favorite coins long term. Certainly strong fundamentals. You know, these are the coins I look for, guys. And you're probably sick of me talking about this one, so I'll move on. But well done to those. Again, OMG. We got into this one around $2 when I made my fundamental analysis video, getting up towards that 1000% gain again, guys. So last week, I think Iota was trading around that $5 mark. We had run extremely hard, guys, and you've just got to realize when we have these huge run-ups in price, we did see Iota come out and clear up that statement in relation to Microsoft. So in all honesty, I'm surprised it hasn't given back a little bit more, and that could have created a bit of panic and whatever. But the fact that it's holding off this sort of 38.6% fib here, again, there hasn't been a big sell-off in volume, even though we have had a bit of a pullback. So we have had the MACD cross on the daily. You know, we did get a big downside after that happened, but it's already starting to turn up, the RSI turning up. Any sort of consolidation here above $3.50 is very healthy for Iota. Again, we need something fundamental wise to drive the price now. Otherwise, we just sort of trade sideways to lower on lighter volume until that happens. NEM. So a lot of you guys know that this one is another sleeping giant. I absolutely love this coin. It's never been on anyone's hype radar, and a lot of you guys have got this one, you know, start of the year, or even I think it was trading around 20 cents when I made my fundamental analysis style video. And good coins have good announcements. So these guys have continued to have good partnerships. I won't talk about fundamentals too much in my technical analysis style videos, but this is just fantastic to see from this sort of, depends where we draw this from, you know, the really old fib levels consolidating here, or whether we take it from this sort of the most recent bottom here. But look, guys, there's plenty to like about this chart. Again, those things we look for after we have the big breakout, the big bull volume there. As long as this volume here is nice and light and we're consolidating at a high level, we are getting a bit extended here on the MACD and the RSI, but again, it's nothing to worry about. We just need that sell-off, the money to change hands, that recycle, and everything's nice and healthy on the NEM chart. And this is certainly one that I'm liking for 2018. Well done, guys, that picks them up in the 20-cent range. Stellar Lumens, another one that I haven't covered a lot of, but is doing a few good things. And I like these coins that have a roadmap. They're sticking to it. They're making deals. They're getting things done. The rubber is hitting the road in the real world, and that's what I like. Give me those sort of strong fundamentals any day over hype coin or the next Ethereum killer, and the coins that talk the talk but don't walk the walk. So again, here was one of your first signs. Huge volume that just dwarfs anything else we've seen. And we tend to get that, and then you have this bit of a correction again, and then as soon as we break those old highs, it's game on here, and just huge movements. So well done, guys. This is one that I personally don't own, but 1000% gains for you guys that were picking this one back up here in the 3-cent range, and now it's got up towards 30 cents there. So again, we're a little bit extended on the technical indicators. I'd expect for those consolidations, let's look for it to hit those high fib levels on low volume, and everything looking pretty healthy on the stellar chart there. Ripple. Now this is one that I don't talk about a lot. mainly because it's kind of by the banks for the banks. And sorry if I offend anyone, guys, but I'm tending to lean towards the decentralized coins. You know, I don't want the banking system to play a huge role in the future of cryptocurrency. So look, if you're trading this one to make money, it's fantastic. But this is one that I don't hold in my portfolio personally. And again, everything's pretty healthy here. It's continued to have a lot of good announcements, partnerships, rumors of being added to Coinbase, all those sort of things driving the price higher. But a lot of you guys have done extremely well from this one, I know as well, even from the start of the year. So look, this one traded down as low as, what, 12 cents here. We're nearly up near $1. So well done, guys, have done well on this one. There's that big volume there. That first candle is again, that sign that good things are coming. Biggest volume we'd had in months. And then we get the ensuing candles to push us higher. And now we're just sort of consolidating again at a higher fib level on that decreasing volume, like we speak about. So Verge, privacy coin, another one that you guys love. I might make a privacy coin special, but there's some fantastic privacy coins out there, and they all tend to have their own communities and following. So look, they're always going to do well. I don't think there's going to be one privacy coin to rule them all. So, you know, there's plenty of good ones out there. I don't want to name them all, but as long as these communities continue to grow, they can all do well. So I don't like people trying to pick the one best coin in any industry. There's going to be a number of coins succeed in the same industry. We don't always have to have one that is the best, and I don't like that mentality of my coin is better than yours. If two different coins are doing fantastic things for the community at large, why can't they both succeed? So huge move here, another 1000% for you guys that have been accumulating this one. Again, I think John McAfee tweet has done a lot of this sort of increase in price, but we're pulling back here, high fib levels, decreasing volume, all those things I look for. Let's see if we get a bearish cross of the MACD and this RSI continuing to turn down. That would be my signal that we are going to trend lower if we do get these things. And again, we just have to be aware that if it is a tweet and a bit of hype that's driven up price more so than fundamentals, then that's when you have to be a little bit more cautious. So guys, again, nothing against Verge. A lot of you guys love this coin, good community. But again, let's just be aware when it's hype or fundamentals, because these coins have to fall back on something at the end of the day. So EOS, and again, this is one that has surprised me a little bit. So I'll talk about EOS and Iota a little bit here. A few of these coins that have got huge potentials, and it's just, I'm always a little bit cautious about when a coin is getting ahead of itself. So EOS is one that's had some big claims and a lot of people are excited about it yet, but it hasn't yet got a working product. So I just want to be really cautious about that. Whenever you see a coin go from 50 cents to, you know, nearly $10, the first sign that they actually are having, you know, a speed bump is hit or something bad happens. And we know in the world of crypto and tech startups, we've already seen what happened with Tezos, a coin that can go from a huge valuation to almost nothing overnight. So I'm not saying that this isn't a good coin that's got a huge potential in front of it and can have a bright future, but I'm just always a bit cautious when things get run this hard, this fast, without actually having any, you know, really strong fundamentals or really strong announcements. So huge percentage gains here. Well done to you guys that have picked this one up. Again, this is all pretty healthy technically. Getting a bounce here off the highest fib level. No warning signs as of yet, but I'm certainly just a little bit cautious. I wouldn't have all my eggs in one basket. That's, I guess, my underlying message with all these coins, these smaller cap coins. Never have too much of your weighting of your portfolio in these coins, because we've got to remember this is all bleeding edge technology, trial and error. Anything can go wrong at any stage. So I'd love to see EOS tick those boxes, and I think it certainly makes for a competitive environment if these other coins can challenge Ethereum, and they're always going to make each other better, pushing each other further. So I guess that's my overarching message, guys. Never get greedy. If you've got in here and made 2,000%, I don't see anything wrong with taking a little bit of money off the table. ADA. So this one here is a coin that a lot of you guys have asked me to cover. Cardano. I think it's fantastic, all I've read about it, guys, and maybe I will cover this one in a fundamental analysis style video. What I want to talk about here, though, is the data here priced in Satoshis, and I will make another video later today about why I prefer to talk in terms of dollars and market cap rather than in terms of Satoshis. And everyone's different, and I'll talk about when it's best to use both. But again, technically, fantastic, big breakout here, big volume, then we get that correction as we see, but on decreasing volume, and then we get that test of the old highs, the breakout, and sure enough, that's your sign that we're about to break out, and then it comes there. So let's just have a look from these bottom where we spent a lot of time. Again, just always healthy signs, guys. High consolidation, decreasing volume. Warning signs if we cross the MACDs, the RSIs turn down, and we get a pickup in bear volume. They're your warning signs, but at the moment, plenty to like about technically. Again, I'm just cautious from a fundamental point of view that these coins are getting too far ahead of themselves for where they are in their current roadmap and level of development. But guys, well done to those of you that have picked this one up here. Huge gains. Again, stick to those rules if you don't want to have too much risk. So finally, Power Ledger, and again, I'll speak about in that video later today about why I prefer to talk in terms of dollars rather than Satoshis. But here's that huge run up, big decline. I didn't think we were going to give back the 78.6% after we had a bit of a bounce, a retest, but we failed and we broke down all the way back here to where we first listed, and now we're starting to get that pick up in volume. Again, another pick up in volume and breakout. Power Ledger with a fantastic announcement again yesterday in Southeast Asia, one that I think continues to trend higher, and I am making a video about the top coins that I'm watching in 2018. So thanks for tuning in, guys. That has been a long one. If someone wants to timestamp, that'd be much appreciated. Please hit like, subscribe if you haven't already, share these videos around, and as always, thanks for tuning in, guys. Cheers.